Hello guys and welcome to my video. Right now we are in a crash, but it's not a big crash but still a crash, and it's important to talk about it. As you can see, I am far away from my 5,000 mark, and you know how proud I was with cracking the 5,000 mark. Right now I am at 4,708 and 62 cents, and it's fine for me. It could happen because of a lot of reasons. For example, right now the high employment rate or the poor GDP, or as well the rising inflation or wrong calculations at all for the companies. As I mentioned a couple of times, we were on an all-time high, and that means like the companies are overvalued in specific areas. But if you watch my videos, you know we are not the type of person who are in a crisis and sell their stocks, because if you start to sell your stock you will lose your money, and we don't want to lose money, and we think always for the future, and nobody of us can tell how the future is looking like, but we can stay together and help each other. As well, there is the situation with the US, for example, if Trump win the election again, or the Japan yen, it lose a lot of money, and it had a lot of impact into the market. And you know, you and I think we are the same. We don't want to spend so much time, energy and resources into reading the news and just look all the time what is going on into the market. We just want to invest a little bit of money into a lot of stocks which are in a lot of areas and get our value of it and get rich over the time, and so we can get wealthy. And that is the most important thing. You have always think about it. Now you can get for your money more stocks because you have a lot more value of it. That means in times like that, you can invest even more money than you already do. But just invest the money that you can afford to invest. Otherwise, you get a lot of trouble and get into debt. And debt is always the worst thing. So if we just looking back into 1 month in the perspective, on the 15th of July, I was on an all-time high for myself in my portfolio of 5,151 and 42 cents. And as you can see, it just went down. And the all-time lowest point for right now was on the 5th of August with 4,492 and 33 cents. And there is no perfect timing to starting to invest again, but with my research, and I'm not 100% sure with that, and it's just a recommendation, what I am doing is if it start again to going up, I start to invest, because you don't know how long it is in the down position. And if you start to invest, for example, here, and it goes, for example, at 4,613 and 79 cents, and it goes even more down, then you lose. You are not losing, but you are not buying at the best point. For that reason, I'm always buying again if it starts to getting in an upward trend, because a downward trend is not that exciting or nobody likes it. If we look at the all-time performance, you see I was at minus 12.33. It was almost the same when I was starting my investing, with my mistakes of $50 US, where it took me a lot of fee and commissions, and in proportion it was like around 14 to 16%, and it's fine. And I have just 2 points where it was positive, but it's okay. We know right now we can start again to invest. I will do that probably in the next video. And I also wanted to show you something else. The first thing is, don't be scared and continue your investment life and invest further. And the second point is a site. Did you know that you can look how the super rich investors invest their money? You can look into it, and there is a page, it's called dataroma.com. I don't know if you know it or not, but they have to show their per quarter how much money they invest or not, and that are the biggest investors in the world. As you can see here on the site, there are already almost everyone from the US, and we have here 3 sites which are very interesting. One are these articles where you can read if you want to read. If you are the type of person who want to read the news, you can read it here. And if we go to the super investors, you see how much money they invest into specific stocks. For example, someone like Bill Gates and Melinda, they have a foundation, and you have just to think why they have a foundation. I can say it because of the tech. And here you see their top 10 holdings per quarter. It is not up to date right now, but it's still a really, really accurate number, because it's a quarter. That means like maybe 1, 2 or 3 months ago. You can see their top 10 holdings, and we don't have to know everything by ourselves. You can just do what a lot of big companies are doing, and then you know it works. I can't promise that it will gain you a lot of value or you will get rich of it, and it's still, believe me, there are just single stocks, and with single stocks you can always lose. And that is the reason why I always recommend the ETF, but it's still interesting to see if I gain more investment investing power, I can invest also in single stocks. And you can see with Bill Gates, it's sure they have Microsoft stocks around 33.49% of their portfolio. And you can see the reported prices. They buy it at 420 and 72 cents. I'm not 100% sure if it's the average or not, but still it's very interesting because you can see what are the stocks which they are holding. Or for example, if you look at Charlie Munger, which stocks he has. Charlie Munger is like a huge example, or for me, a big idol is like Warren Buffett with his Berkshire. He has a lot of in Apple right now. If you look at it and a lot of investors, you will see it is just like big tech companies in most of the cases like Microsoft, Google, Amazon or Meta. And you can see their top 10 holdings, and as well, which is also interesting, which is very interesting, you can see the activities. And with the activities, you can see if some of the investors right now selling their stocks. For example, here Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they sell Berkshire Hathaway and reduce their portfolio to 13.12%. And as well, they sell a little bit of Microsoft stock. And so you can see if somebody is, for example, right now in a situation where the stock market starts to crash and they start to sell their stocks, it's maybe as well a chance. Don't see it negatively, because you can see here, for example, Charlie Munger in the Q1, that means like he just sells stocks, and you can look at it if it helps you or not. Warren Buffett, for example, he has sold a little bit of Apple stocks and buy new things, and it's not always 100% sure that you will gain money off it or it will help you, but you can just look at it because I think it's really interesting. And if you didn't know it, this is a really good website where you can read a lot and look how the super investors are investing and put their money into it. And that's for today's video. Stay strong, invest, and continue to build your wealth for the future. Thank you and bye-bye.